Thanks for joining us at the Hub. And today we're going to dive into we're going to look at Casemiro if he's become a liability at United. So we'll tackle that issue on today's video. But before we get into that, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our content, and we really appreciate it. So before we take a look at Casemiro in terms of his age and different his ability, whether or not he's become a liability, I just wanted to look at something which is kind of interesting because many people have talked about Casemiro in terms of his aggressive tackling and the amount of yellow card, sorry, that he has picked up during his career. But let's make a comparison because we're going to look at two United legends in terms of comparing them in in terms of their tackling and how aggressive they are with their tackling. So if you look at Casemiro over 13 seasons, we'll take Madrid and United. He averages or approximates about a yellow card every third game. That's what he's done. Paul Scholes, on the other hand, with his 19 seasons at Manchester United, he was close to one yellow about every 4 games. And of course, Roy Keane, who was at United for 13 seasons, he picked up one yellow every 2 games. So you can see that Casemiro is right sort of in between those two guys, and they were pretty aggressive with their tackling also. So I don't think it's something that is a major issue with Casemiro as far as being a defensive midfielder. It sort of sometimes comes with the territory. You've got to make the opposing players feel your presence. But, sometimes even, just like Scholes and Keane, they sort of got a little bit too exuberant about their tackling, if you want to put it that way. And you could see by the records in terms of yellow cards how they stacked up against each other. One thing you can't question about Casemiro is the experience he has, what he brings to the table in terms of his position as a defensive midfielder, because we just have to take a look at his career and how many games he's played, different clubs, and we can see also the type of titles he's won with Real Madrid and Manchester United. So the experience he brings, the type of quality of talent that is on the field is evident for all to see and clear in terms of his track record and his statistics in terms of honors and trophies that he's won. The question becomes, though, in terms of his age and his conditioning, let's say, or in terms of his legs, and can he still do the job at a top level? Now, every player is different in terms of how they react to as their career starts to sort of wind down. You have different players able to maintain, if not a high level, a very decent level in terms of the quality of play. I mean, we can look at guys like Cristiano Ronaldo, Luka Modric, Ibrahimovic. At late 30s, they were still doing some pretty amazing things, and that's all down to in terms of taking care of themselves physically. But it also is a mental game in terms of the discipline that they have and the willingness to, or the mental strength to play at that top level and want to do, always be at the top of their game. So who knows what's happening in terms of Casemiro? Is he a liability at Manchester United at this point? Well, it's difficult to answer that. And United have brought in Ugarte, and obviously it seems that he will take the starting role. And if Casemiro, sees that he wants to play a little more football, he might look for greener pastures somewhere else. But right now, the word is that he isn't going anywhere, and he's going to fight for his starting place. That'll be difficult because he's 32 and Manuel Agate is 23. So, but let's see what happens. He's still he's a quality player, and I wouldn't say just with a couple mistakes, glaring mistakes nonetheless, that he has become a liability. But then, if as the games go on and he really is becoming, prone to really, giving up too much possession, and where it costs the team, where it costs United goals and points, then there's going to have to really be some tough decision making in terms of how much he plays, what type of games he plays, in terms of what competitions, and whether or not United will, make a decision to try to, sell him. Of course, it depends on offers too, and what teams may want him at that point. But we'll see. So we sort of have to give it a little time and see how he fares in terms as the season progresses.